Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome again to the Cumberland Thunder Podcast. I'm Josh Tomlin. Normally, Josh Carey is over there. He's going to be joining us here shortly. He's performing some fatherly duties.
You mean
upstairs.
you can't see him either?
No, I can't.
Okay,
it's
good.
not just you. And of course, we have, as promised, Seth Hayes.
Woo-hoo.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Your first podcast.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm.
As always, we have a record here that we're gonna highlight. We'll get to that in a minute because I feel like Carey's gonna have some thoughts. But I did promise folks that I was gonna share a story today.
Oh.
This is the story that I told at our 5-year celebration concert.
Oh, y'all in for a treat?
Yeah, and I didn't tell it when Abby was on because it more directly involves you, Seth. So, to set the scene, I'll go into a little more detail. To set the scene, we were.
Set the scene.
It was a long weekend.
Yeah.
We were on the road. We played on a Friday night in Jamestown, Kentucky, at Beck Park. And that was in the middle of August, if I recall correctly. It doesn't feel like it's been that long,
To say, it doesn't.
but it was in August.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty hot that day, as I recall. And
even at night,
even at night, it was that kind of Kentucky like muggy where everything is it's just humid and just there. And
that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. And it was okay. We had a good time there.
Yeah.
Everybody that was there enjoyed it. We had a food truck. It was good.
So good.
And yeah,
That onion blossom thing, whatever.
we had
it
the
was.
onion, and you had. Am I allowed to ask how many funnel cakes you had?
More than I should have.
I think it was more than 2.
More
Or
like
was it
1.5.
1.5? Okay.
I didn't eat all of any of it, so probably all together I ate one whole funnel cake, and I'm diabetic if you don't know. So my sugar was like, what are you doing? You are going to die. This is it? Get your affairs in order.
And because of that, we were all kind of like hyped. We were all pretty hyped up at that point at night. And it took us a while to get everything torn down because we took a little break to eat. Mm-hmm. And we had a long drive ahead of us, 4 or 5 hours to Marion, Virginia. And we knew we were kind of prepared. We've done long drives before, North Carolina. You were on that trip with us. And so it wasn't anything that we weren't used to, but we got a later start than what we expected. And we rolled into Marion probably about, the sun was coming up.
Oh, yeah. Like 5, 6 in the morning, something like that.
Yeah. And it didn't help that we lost an hour because we were going from Central to Eastern time. Yeah. And Marion, Virginia, lovely town.
Beautiful.
Very artsy town, I guess you would say. It kind of reminded me a little bit of anybody who's ever been here locally to Berea, Kentucky. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that. Really nice town. Some really pretty murals painted on the side of the building. But not a very RV-friendly town.
No.
So we ended up parking in the post office parking lot because that was really the only place that was available to us that was big enough.
We were praying we wouldn't get towed.
Yeah, we didn't. We just were hoping and praying that maybe some people out of the kindness of their hearts would not tow us.
Which, granted, after meeting the people, probably out of the kindness of their hearts.
Oh,
they
yeah.
would have let us stay there.
Sweet people. The people in the town were as sweet as the town was beautiful.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
And we had a reservation at the General Francis Marion Hotel. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it was fully daylight by the time we walked in the door.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to be at the theater. We were playing at the Lincoln Theater, and we had to be there to set up at 12 noon. Mm-hmm. And so we got all except Josh Carey because he was driving, but the rest of us slept at least a little on the trip. Mm-hmm. But by the time we got in the motel or the hotel, it was closer to 6:30-ish. And so we got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
Just enough to get us through the
Yeah.
day somewhat.
So we made it through that. We went over to the theater. We set up. We were able to just, if you've seen the vlog on this,
Which you should.
yes, highly recommend you watch this vlog. You'll see, it's kind of in a little montage sequence, but you'll see, his name's Bobby Beck. He was running sound for the theater, and he went above and beyond, as the whole theater staff went above and beyond for us. But he was directing the RV into this little alley that I was not 100% sure it would fit, but I was being very I was just like, oh yeah, I think it'll.
Well, even when we were driving through the town, and I first looked at it, and I kind of thought, it'd be real funny if we had to park there. And then, not 5-10 minutes later, it was like, no, we're gonna have to park there.
So we pulled in there one time. This is what you don't see in the vlog. We pulled in once, and Bobby kind of walked around, and he looked at the front of the RV, and he said, you've got a rail. There were some steps, and he said, this rail of the steps is kind of in your way. He said, if you want to back up, try it again, you'll gain about a foot, and that'll at least get the trailer out of the road. And so we backed up, did it again, and I mean, he had us just that.
Yeah.
That I think there's a shot in the vlog that shows. I mean, we were just that close to this rail. So all that to say, it had just been a stressful weekend. Now they were fantastic, and the audience that was there. We did the sound check. We found a little pizza place. We went and had some.
It was really good. What was it called? I forgot.
I don't remember. We'll ask Carey when he comes.
Whatever it was good. Shout outs to them.
It was very good. There's a brief shot of us in the vlog, just because we really hadn't had anything to eat at all that day, and that wasn't until 4:30, 5 o'clock, I think, that afternoon. So we did the show, went well. Tedious process of packing up. I introduced the folks at the theater to the good world of ski. I gave them a ski because they'd never heard of it, and we've referenced ski so many times, but I gave them one, and they said they would try it, so I hope that they did. But we headed on our way back home, and we were so tired and hungry, but I think after shows, thirsty more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter how much, even if you have like a water on stage with you, it doesn't matter. And you usually sweat pretty easily when we're playing as well.
Yeah. I get it from my dad. I sweat like a pig. It's ridiculous.
So we needed to be refreshed.
We did.
And there wasn't much open by that time. It was after 11 o'clock at night, best I remember. And we found there was a Taco Bell on the hill that had the light on.
See the bright light shine.
And it was just like, I don't even remember seeing a Waffle House. I'm sure there was one. There had to be one, but I just don't remember seeing one.
Didn't we know that was...
No, that was that's a great story.
Yes.
We'll tell when Carey's, we'll earmark that.
Yeah, Carey will want to be here for
this is the Indianapolis story. No, but this one takes place
I'm glad
in
you knew
Marion,
what I was
Virginia.
thinking
Yes, I
about.
did know exactly what you were talking about. But no, we saw the Taco Bell, and we were like, okay, yeah, great. They're open late usually. And we knew we couldn't get the RV through the drive-thru, and there wasn't a good place to park in the Taco Bell parking lot. Mm-mm. So we parked in just like a shopping center. It wasn't even a Walmart, was it? It was just a shopping center.
It was like a little outlet mall kind of thing. Like there was a grocery store and a few other stores, but the grocery store I think just closed.
Okay. So they were probably wondering, what in the world are these people doing pulling in here? And Seth and I got elected to...
Somehow.
Yeah, to... So here's the parking lot. big main road, big hill, Taco Bell.
Yep.
So we got elected to go. I took down everybody's order. We walk across. And the first thing I noticed was that the dining room lights were all shut off.
Mm-hmm.
The sign was still on.
Yeah.
But all the dining room lights were shut off.
First red flag.
Yeah. The door was unlocked, though, because I was fully expecting, oh, no,
and we saw people inside.
Yeah, there were a few people milling about. So we opened the door and walked in. And I think it took a minute or two for somebody to acknowledge that we were there.
I almost thought they were kind of ignoring us, thinking if we ignore them, they'll leave.
100%. That's definitely what they were doing. But finally, I think they said something to the effect of, "Oh, the dining room's closed." That like they were still open, but they said, "Oh, the dining room's closed." And we said, "No, we're so sorry. We're in an RV. We can't get through."
We're trying not to be those people.
Yeah,
but we are going to be those people.
I was like, I have a big order, but I was like, I promise it's to go. We're not going to stay. We can't get through the drive-through. And they understood. They were like, okay. And so they came up. I think they had to get somebody's, which I don't know exactly how it works. I know different places have different methods of like opening the register and everything, but I think they had to like turn the register on or maybe take somebody's ID or something.
SRC maybe have to put in their employee number or whatever, because I had to do that at Walmart and Dollar General when I worked there. So
they did that and very graciously took the order. And I feel like if you go to Taco Bell and you don't order the Baja Blast...
Did you even go to... you're about to say... Did you even go to Taco Bell?
Have you even... have you even?
Do you even Taco Bell, bro?
If a tree falls in a forest...
Is there any Baja Blast?
And so everybody... Literally, I think you did too, right? Like all of us, didn't... Or did you get something else?
You're talking about Baja Blast?
Yeah, I feel like everybody ordered a Baja Blast. That was what I had the order on my phone.
Well, I got a Baja Blast 0, but a Baja Blast.
So everybody was like, yeah, Baja Blast. So I do that and give the order, and they go, we're out of regular Baja Blast. We only have Baja Blast 0. Which I realized in telling this from the stage, I said diet. There is no diet Baja Blast. There's only Baja Blast 0, I think.
Yeah.
So, correction.
I knew what they meant.
Yeah. So, you were fine with that because that's what you were going to get anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a few things running through my mind. This was my thought process. The first was, it's been a really long day. Mm-hmm. It's been a really long 2 days. And I really want to taste that sweet taste of a Baja Blast.
Taste of victory.
Exactly. And the second thing was, oh, well, John, you could get something else. Like you could just get everybody, you know what everybody likes. Like I could have asked. I had the technology. I could have asked everybody what they wanted. I know what everybody else likes. I could have just said, oh, yeah, Coke or Dr. Pepper or whatever. But in my mind, I was like, they will be... Baja Blast is such an integral part of the Taco Bell experience that it will just be a big disappointment at the end of a long weekend if I don't supply them with the goods. If I don't come back. I think it's that very... the very male thing of like I have to be the hero of the story.
Yeah.
Like I have to. And so
and plus like also the male part, like we get lazy and like, oh, they'll be fine. It's
yeah,
fine.
Exactly.
It's whatever.
We get
they're adults.
We get complacent and it's like, you don't stop and ask for directions. You don't.
Right.
Yeah. It's that whole thing of like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. And so it was both of those things combined.
I say to my kids all the time, my students, you get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
Yeah. So I just said, yeah, that's fine. And my hope was that either they wouldn't be able to tell the difference, or maybe they were just so tired that they didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew if I said, "Oh, guys, they only had 0. I hope that's okay." I went ahead and got that. That there would be at least from the Abbey part of the RV. There would be an immediate uproar of of like, "What? They don't have Baja Blast?" Because we've all run into that. I've gone through the drive-thru here in Russell Springs, and they've been out or whatever, and so I've been through this before. And so my hope was, I guess, that they just wouldn't know, that no one would know. Mm-hmm. And so I think I remember distinctly looking at you and just saying, I won't say, like, we won't tell them. I won't say anything if you won't. I don't remember exactly what I...
Something along those lines. It's like, I won't tell if you won't.
And so Seth became my co-conspirator. And really, there was no... Like, I've blown it into a bigger thing than what it really was. But at the time, it felt like a huge deal to me. Because I was just like, I got to make this work, man. Pulling it together it's for the band.
We're on a mission from God.
That's right. So we walked back on the RV, divvy everybody's food up. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. I was drinking mine, and I think Carey either didn't notice or didn't care.
I was going to say, honestly, to me, there isn't much of a distinct difference.
Yeah.
But, I mean, granted, I've drinking diet and zero drink even before I was a diabetic, so I can still kind of tell a little bit of difference. But even the Baja Blast is like, it's fine. There is no difference.
Well, and I think
and clearly with them, they didn't tell.
Well, I think personally the zero drinks are a little bit better than diet. To me, I like Coke Zero is a little bit better than Diet Coke to me. Uh-huh. But Abby goes, Does your Baja Blast taste a little funny? And I just said, no, mine's great. It's good.
Best one I ever had.
Yeah. She goes, okay. And I think I ended up finishing hers because she didn't finish it. And then, but the whole end of this is you and I were the only people who knew about that until just a couple of weeks ago at the 5-year celebration concert. I decided to share that from the stage and let everyone else in on it.
Air out your dirty laundry.
Exactly. Which, if that's the worst I've got to share, then I suppose we're doing pretty good.
You're doing all right. I mean, to be honest, shows how tired I was from that whole weekend. I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
Come like an hour or so after all that, completely off my mind. It's like when people like tell me secrets, like you can't tell anybody. I tell them, look, you have nothing to worry about. I'm gonna forget about it an hour later. And then they bring it up. Did you tell anybody? Tell them what? And they're like, okay.
The thing is, for me, it weighed on my mind from the time that happened until the time I told everyone. Like, there was at least, I'm not going to say every day, but at least once a week since that happened, I'd think, oh yeah, that was a thing that happened. That was a thing. And like, so as I was telling that story, was there a moment where you immediately knew where I was going with it when I told it from the stage?
When you finally...
I hemmed and hawed around a while.
Yeah. When you finally, I guess, mentioned how tired or hungry we are, and I was like, oh, I remember now. I was like, this is going to be good. And I just kept staring at their faces like, what are they going to do?
I knew Abby would be more, not upset, but just more flabbergasted by it than anyone. Well, actually, I think she was, I knew something was.
She didn't get a scolding for it afterwards?
No, I did. I did. We'll have her back on here and she can defend herself.
No, of course.
She's not here, so I can talk about her. She's decorating cakes at the moment, so. Speaking of diabetes.
It's a running theme.
Yeah. Yeah, we could tell the bagel. We could tell the donut story. That's a good one that involves you. So this would be circa 2018.
Yeah, I'd say early 2018, maybe mid 2018.
Okay. So prior to Seth joining Cumberland Thunder, there were a few weekends that he came out and filled in with us, and played the drums, and we, as I tell it from stage, and this is the honest to goodness truth, the thing you do in the South to make people feel comfortable, make them feel welcome, is you give them food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just what you do. It's the way I was raised. I'm sure it's the way that you were raised.
Yeah.
You give people food. You offer them food. You offer them, say, yeah, you guys thirsty? You hungry? You want anything? Listen, my mama especially, let me tell you, I've showed up at her house before, and she will fix something, and then somebody will say, I was thinking about KFC the other day. Oh, we can go get some. And she will either go herself or send my papaw to the KFC or get a pizza delivered or something like that. Mm-hmm. Like, just food is. So we had some. It was actually Kristen had brought some donuts along, and just doing the polite thing. Hey, Seth, you want a donut? And you said,
yes.
Of course. Who's going to turn a donut down?
Not me.
And throughout the course of that day, as the best I remember, we had somewhere both Sunday morning and Sunday night to play. And so periodically throughout the day, throughout that morning, we were all just, we'd grab a donut. Seth, you want a donut? Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
and it was a mini donut. One of those
it was like the little pouch. Was it a white one or a chocolate?
I think it was a chocolate one. And I mean, to be fair, my mind, I'm like, it's just the round ones. It's not going to be terrible. And so the morning concert was over. It was done. We were packing up, and I think we probably had one or two more as we were going to Somerset. And we had somewhere else to play that night, but we were discussing where we wanted to eat lunch. And Seth, you said something to the effect of, well, I think you were in the discussion of where do we want to eat and what do we need to have. You started pulling out your glucose monitor, right,
and the strips and everything.
Yep.
And was like, well, I guess I need to check my sugar and see what I need or what. And we all just kind of had a moment of, hold on, what? And then Seth, which it wasn't any great revelation, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm diabetic. And we were like, oh, should you have had all of those donuts?
And immediately you all turned on Kristen.
Yeah, we turned on Kristen because Kristen was the one doing the predominant, she was predominant, oh, you want a donut? Because she had brought them along, I think. And so we were like, you tried to kill him. And she was just, I didn't know. And she apologized the whole rest of the day.
I wasn't mad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's not something I'm going to talk about. My name's Seth Hayes, and I'm a diabetic, like I'm at an AA meeting.
Yeah. Hi, Seth.
So, I mean, I just, when the time comes, like, oh, I'm diabetic. And normally, like, it happens when they see me pull out and check my sugar, and they're like, oh, I'm diabetic. And they're like, oh, my goodness, like, it's some big thing.
Is everything okay?
Like, not that I don't take it seriously. Don't get me wrong. I take care of myself. But it's just, like, I guess I'm comfortable with it where I take care of myself, or it's not a big, huge deal to me. Whereas some people don't take care of themselves, and it's a big deal for them, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. I totally get that. But it was a revelation to us, and it just gave us a good opportunity to turn on one of our own.
To fire.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anytime Josh Carey can fire somebody, we get fired on a weekly basis.
It gives him power.
Yeah, makes him feel good. But that's the donut story. And that one, I've told that one from stage a number of times. Get some good laughs. I usually, what did I say? Oh, yeah. First time I told it, I didn't know how this would go over. But I talked about you pulling out, I think I called it all your paraphernalia.
Oh, my paraphernalia, right.
And I said, no, I'd never seen hard drugs done before in front of me. And I said, Seth, what are you doing there?
Nothing. What are you talking about? Nothing's wrong.
A sugar high, that's all.
Yeah.
What you're drinking, you're drinking it. We gotta talk about what you're drinking. Oh, but it's zero sugar.
Zero sugar, yeah, Monster.
Not a sponsor, but I mean, if you want to.
No, I mean, why not? Because I felt myself getting tired on the way here. I was like, ooh, I better grab something. And normally, I've gotten real into the Mountain Dew Rise, I think it's called. I think it's like their newer energy drink. And it has few carbs, no sugar. And I mean, it's really good. I sometimes grab it on the way to work in the morning. Some good stuff. And their blue, of course, I love Voltage. That's honestly one of my favorites that I can't have.
Oh.
I can have, but I shouldn't have. So that they have a blue one. It's like blueberry pomegranate. And at first I was like, I have no idea. I just like blue drinks. And when I first took a sip, I was like, finally, I can get tasted like Voltage.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, finally. And then they had the Frostbite.
I've seen the Frostbite, yeah.
And of course, they only had the regular one. And I got it for Kayla, my wife, because she loves it. Then they finally came out with Zero and was like, yes. And I think that one tasted more like Zero than the energy drink.
Okay.
Of course, now they're not at Walmart anymore. At least not that I've seen.
Hey, a fan mail opportunity. See if you can find them. Send some to Seth. See, I'm completely ignorant of the world of energy drinks. Like I've never had even just a Red Bull or a Monster or a, what's the other big one? Bang. Yeah. None of those. I don't know why. Which growing up, I didn't even drink a lot of. I didn't drink a lot of soft drinks of any kind. It was Capri Sun and
Sunny
milk
D.
and not even so much Sunny D. There was a lot of Capri Sun, a lot of lemonade.
You never quoted that old commercial where they say, we got some OJ, some milk, some purple stuff. Oh, some Sunny D. Oh, man.
I do like some Sunny D. Sunny D's good. And it's not orange juice. I don't care what you say. It's a completely different experience than orange juice.
I didn't get into energy drinks, till fairly recently. Well, probably whenever I got my teaching job and I had to get up really early to be there early. Of course, the school I teach at's an hour ahead of where I live. And so I'm having to leave my house at around 5 in the morning. So I'm like, oh, man, I need something. Then I saw, because like you, it was like, I didn't drink a lot of energy drinks. Of course, Diet Coke was always stocked at our house, but like, need that energy, and I'm not a big coffee drinker. And so I saw Bang, and I was like, I don't remember where I heard about it, but it's supposed to be healthier, like zero sugar.
Yeah.
I go, I'll give it a try, because I tried Red Bull Zero Sugar in college, and I did not like it.
I've heard it's nasty. I've heard other people say it's nasty.
It is. I never had regular Red Bull, but I just didn't like it. But I tried Bang, and I was like, oh, this stuff is good. It's like, I can get behind this. And my sugar can, too. So.
Yeah, which Abby has, we'll have to get Abby to come tell the story, but she has a really great story of when she drank I forget which one it was, but
I think it was Monster.
Maybe it was. It's one that she said tasted like sweet tarts? I don't know. But anyway, she drank 3 of them in a row, and she has a really great story about that.
It's a great one.
It's a great one. If she hasn't sworn them off, we have sworn them off for her, because she won't know when to stop. Well, here's my question. If you have, what are the 5-hour energy drinks?
Yeah.
If you drink half of those, now this has been said as a joke before, but this is my genuine question. If you drink half of a 5-hour energy, do you get 2.5 hours of energy, or do you get 5 hours of some energy?
Ooh, that's a good question. I wouldn't know, because I've only had a 5-hour energy once. I honestly feel like it didn't give me much energy.
Did it work?
I don't think so. In all honesty, I think I got it that night we played. and it was recently. I can't remember what it's called.
That place.
Yeah, that place. It was in like Downtown Days or something like that. What's it called?
Yeah. Downtown Days in Columbia.
Okay, so
yeah.
I got
outside on the square on
Yeah.
the big. Yeah.
I got it that night because I just wanted something different, and I mean, it gave me some energy, but like, not enough to where I can feel like a significant difference.
It's a little bottle.
And it's just a little tiny thing. You just take a shot and you're on your way.
What does it taste like? I know they have different ones now, but
I mean, tasted like. I mean, when I get the berry flavored, tasted like berries.
like berries.
Yeah, because they did have different flavors, and of course, I think I got one because my coworker was telling me a story of how she had a 5-hour energy and she was driving, and I think it didn't make her wired. I think it made her like really tired or something was going on to where she was like, I have to stop this car.
Right.
Because something is going on. I can't remember exactly, and I can't remember, but it did not do what the 5-hour energy was supposed to do. And I remember like when 5-hour energy came out, and there was like some kids that like drank a bunch and basically OD'd on 5-hour energy. So I was like,
Yeah.
And that was,
Go ahead.
and that was kind of back then where I heard like if you drink enough energy drink, especially like the ones with a lot of sugar, like basically all it is sugar. Like you drink so much, you're like can get like a heart attack or something. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't drink those for more reasons than one. But
Tune in next time to the Cumberland Thunder Podcast when we force feed Seth as many energy drinks, and we'll just sit here and see what happens to him.
Number 5.
That'd be terrible. We wouldn't do that to you. We'll just give you some more donuts.
Right. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about energy drinks tonight, but here we are.
You know, it took the last when Abby was here. It took some directions. We talked about embarrassing moments. Mm-hmm. We talked about a little bit of everything. And then, we just kind of meander around somewhat.
Didn't know if you had a game plan or see where the Lord leads.
I have, I knew I was going to tell the story about Marion, Virginia, and I knew I was going to tell a couple of things. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it's just kind of this is where people get that inside glance at how our brains work, which is a scary place sometimes. That's the thing. People, I love when I get to watch one of my favorite artists do something that is not necessarily related to their artistry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so this is kind of an opportunity to peel back the curtain, so to speak, to people to get a little inside glimpse.
The music.
Yeah.
Was that on VH1 Inside the Music?
I think so.
Something like that.
K-Love does a thing like that now too. I think they call it Inside the Music as well. It'll come on and it'll be like Inside the Music on K-Love with Toby Mac or whoever. Behind the Music. Okay. Behind the Music. Behind, inside, whatever. It's all the same.
Do with what you will.
Yeah. Which we haven't, I think we've talked a little bit on the first episode about the set, the podcast set, which I think there have been a couple of additions to it since the first filming, which we've talked a lot about the record collection that is here, and we're still going to talk a little bit about what our featured record of the day is.
I was going to say, you all dove into the first episode about genres and how everything is changing and like the politics behind it, and here we are talking about energy drinks. You never know what you're gonna get.
Well, I'll pose that question to you because I know we've talked about, I think our website even says something in our bio to the effect of with each member coming from a unique stylistic background. And we all have had different influences. And there was a interview video that we put out where you touched a little bit on some of your influences. But you bring a unique perspective to the band that I think is just slightly different than what any of the rest of us have had. What are your earliest memories of music of any kind, whether in the house or...
Just, like, you mean like...
Just hearing something and being like, oh, that's a song, and that's... I know for me, my earliest memories of music were just the local Christian radio station playing the cathedrals. That's one of my earliest memories, and specifically this song. It's not He Made a Change. It's but it was one of their later hits. Trying to Get a Glimpse. What's over on that. That's one of my earliest memories of just hearing, because it was playing a lot on the radio at that time.
I mean, probably just my earliest memories. Like, again, I touched on this in that interview video. I just remember, like I said, no matter where we were going, whether it was Walmart, church, school, home, going home from school, the Crab Family was always playing. And I'm just trying to think. I just remember, like, hearing, like, everything, like, Through the Fire, Please Forgive Me, more upbeat Limb, of the King. Thinking, like, again, wow, those are songs, not knowing really what they meant. I just loved the sound. I loved to listen to it.
I remember, because this would have been early 2000s, because we're both 90s kids, 95 and
95.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're closer in age than I'm still, you're still older than me, though.
I was born July. You were...
December. It's coming up.
Oh, snap.
Coming up. But yeah, so I think we probably... I remember we had a copy of a Crab Family album. Was it called Pray?
Yes, the
it
one
had the little
with the
girl.
kid.
Yeah. That had Through the Fire on it, didn't it?
That had Through the Fire on it. And
so.
Again, just I can perfectly picture that album art in my head, and it brings back all the nostalgic memories. I love it so much. And I pull up that album every now and again on my phone and listen through it. And honestly, if I may say, I don't know how true this is, their album Living Out the Dream came out 2001. Incredibly underrated album. It does not get enough love.
Living Out the Dream.
In my honest opinion, because if you think of Crab Family hits, they go through, like, obviously there's a lot of hits on the Pray album.
Right.
There's a lot of hits on the Greater Is He album.
Yeah. I remember that one.
And some of their later albums, and obviously Still Holding On. I think that was the name of their first album back in like '96. You don't hear much from the Living Out the Dream album, and it's such a crime, because honestly that's the album I remember the most growing up. That and the Pray album, and just almost, I think every song on there is just gold. Even Adam Crabb's harmonica solo, Amazing Grace. Of course, Adam Crabb, love his harmonica playing. Harmonica is my favorite instrument, in all honesty. I love the drums, I love piano, I love guitar, but I was thinking about this on the way here. It was like, harmonica, it's amazing. That little instrument
It is amazing.
can make such a beautiful and melodic sound. Just something about it, just chef's kiss. And you can do so many things. Sorry, I didn't.
No.
Like,
well, I know that I attempted to play in front of people. I know Josh Carey also did the same thing. Both probably, I would venture a guess, right around the same age. We were trying to do the harmonica thing. And because of that, I have an appreciation for the people that can actually do it, because I
know.
Crashed and burned miserably.
I was listening to Terry McMillan, his Amazing Grace rendition, which if you go to listen to Living Out the Dream and you listen to Adam Crabb's Amazing Grace, you've heard Terry McMillan's Amazing Grace. They are similar, but yet different in so many ways. And I think even Terry McMillan is on is duetting with Adam on Amazing Grace, because I remember listened to it again like maybe a year or two ago. I was like, that is two completely different harmonicas. Like, they sound distinctive, and that's almost two completely different playing styles almost. And I listened to Terry McMillan's version on Down by the Tabernacle, Gaither Homecoming.
Oh yeah, I remember Down by the Tabernacle.
And
you're bringing out all kinds of things I've completely forgotten about.
And he would play, like, when he would go crazy and like improv and everything, and I was like, I heard that on Living Out the Dream. I was like, is that Terry McMillan? It's like, that blew my mind.
Yeah. I remember listening to when I get, I don't know, maybe you were the same way, because I imagine early 2000s again, you had physical CD copies of these albums. We weren't listening on Spotify in like 2001.
Right. I think we had the Prey album on tape.
Like on cassette?
Yeah.
I still got a big old tub of cassettes that I will bring out every now and then, and I do have a cassette player. I know it's a rarity these days, but I remember.
They're flat out getting rid of CD players in cars.
That's true.
Which is a
crime.
It's a crime.
It's a crime. A crime.
True crime. True crime daily.
Which would actually be a good discussion as far as like what format people get their music. But I remember No, I love it. I remember very well as a child taking cassettes and CDs and looking at the album art. I was that weird kid that would just stare at the album art while listening to the album. Mm-hmm. And I got in a habit really early on of reading credits. And I would look at and of course, these were the days where people were actually putting full song lyrics, like that you would have the little booklets.
Yeah.
Song lyrics to every song, all the writers listed. Sometimes there would be thank yous, and you just kind of get
all that on the little.
Oh yeah.
On the little booklet. Basically, it's a booklet.
And I remember there was a moment where I was looking, and you see a name and you go, oh, I recognize that name. And then you realize, wait a second, I've got this other album over here.
Yeah.
That person did that on this too. And you start to realize the shared universe that a lot of this music, I guess, for lack of a better term, shared universe, that it lives in.
The Southern Gospel Cinematic Universe.
And you start getting an idea for, okay, these guys are studio players or session musicians, and these guys do this. And that led to a love of, on my part at least, producing. And we talked a little bit, actually, last episode. We talked about that whole world of the process and loving the process.
Yeah.
And so being surrounded by music as I was, and specifically having physical copies of the albums there to look at and enjoy, and because it was almost an entire production in itself, like the booklet that went with it.
'Cause even then,
yeah,
it's kind of a dying art now.
It really is. Well, like I look at this vinyl that's behind us, and even this that we'll share in a moment. There's a really incredible picture on the inside of this. Some of these that would have, these box sets, and you'd get the double albums and the fold outs, and sometimes there would be a poster in there that you could pull out. And I actually have, it was hanging up. We have since moved, and I've not had a chance to put it up yet, but I have one of those posters, and it's record size, so I think I didn't see the record that it came out of, but I'm confident that it came out of a vinyl. But it's a double-sided poster of Ernie Haas.
Wow.
From late 90s, I'm going to say. It was a solo album that he had put out, and it just has his picture on one side and then another picture of him on the other side. But just things like that. There was a whole other team in addition to just the audio production team or the musicians, that an album or any form of recorded music was an event.
Yeah.
And the way The way we consume music has very much changed since then.
Well, I don't remember what album it was recently, but the little cover of the album art was front and back.
Mm-hmm.
The back had maybe credits, who produced it, who played on it. But, I mean, at least, granted, there are some out there that are trying to uphold it. Like, I recently got Josh Turner's Do Christmas album. Fantastic album. You should listen to it.
It came up, it recommended to me on Spotify, but
It's
I've not
so
watched
good.
it.
It's real good.
Or listened to it.
And, you know, he had the lyrics. He had some pictures of the production and everything. So there is some people. Oh, I remember. Back to the one that had it front and back.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't. It was like one of those albums, like it folds. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it, kind of a more modern look, which
Kind of like a cardboard.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah, I know exactly.
Which I kind of like those. It's sleek. It's nice, but it had on the inside just one little piece of paper.
Yeah.
That had the picture, and on the back was credits. Now it was Home Free, one of their newer albums, which I love Home Free. I love them
Good
dearly.
bit of acapella.
Yes, but Dying Guard, I was like,
Yeah.
granted, it had their autograph, which was pretty cool, but I was like, it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, we've covered all kinds of things.
We have.
I think it's time we talk about this this record here that's sitting in front of us.
And I know a man who can.
Indeed, you know what? Quick side note: you said that
Yeah.
the other night at the product table. I'm going to leave this person anonymous, namely because I don't know the person, but they said. I want, as is usual, I want that album that has this song that you all did tonight,
Right, yeah.
or that song. and sometimes they know exactly what song it is, and sometimes you have to play a bit of the guessing game. This particular person said, I want the song, the one that has I Know a Man Who Can on it. And I said, sorry, ma'am, we've never recorded I Know a Man Who Can. She said, no, y'all did it tonight. And I said, I said, maybe it was, I started naming some that were different titles that we had and the ones that we'd done that night. She said, no, it's the one you did tonight, and it goes like this. And she started singing I Know a Man Who Can to me.
Like the legit song?
Yes, the song. And I was like, I'm familiar with the song. We do not do that song.
So I say, y'all have like never done it, have you?
No. I don't think I've ever sang that song, period. Maybe along with somebody that was singing it on stage, but I've never sang even backup on that song in front of an audience. But oh well.
Was she mean like he can?
We didn't even do that night, though.
Did we not?
We didn't.
Well, I guess
we omitted He Can from that concert.
We did, didn't we?
So I don't know, but we found an album that had some form of something, and I hope it had what she wanted.
Hope it tickled her fancy.
I hope it did. Would you like to join us?
Sure. Come on in.
We've been waiting to talk about, yes, a moment of applause as he fixes the Batman Funko Pop. Oh yeah, we were talking about the set earlier, and the set is dominated. I mean, there's all kinds of what we would call nerd stuff, but it's dominated by Batman memorabilia. You're somewhat of a Batman aficionado.
Not like some others, I believe, but happy to be.
So this
Just
album,
happy to feel included.
Yeah.
I'll show you the picture on the inside before. Look at that. I love that.
That's a spread.
It's got.
It's very natural. A very natural picture.
Yeah, they're running on stage. It implies motion. They're running on stage that you can see the audience behind them. It's an enormous stage. But this album is Peter, Paul, and Mary in concert.
Oh yeah.
And we actually listened to a little bit of this before recording the podcast. And there's a particular song which they are very famous for that is on this album called Puff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah.
And there's a chord progression in that song, which is not a super uncommon, but it's one of my favorite progressions. It's one of my favorite things that a song can do because I think it implies. I'm going to get real philosophical here for a second,
man.
but I think it implies a sense of wistfulness, or not necessarily loneliness, but a sense of longing. And it's when, for those who are familiar with the Nashville number system, when you go from the 1 to the 3 minor. So like if you're in C, when you're going from C to an E minor. And that song does it just, as you said, chef's kiss. Does it beautifully. And that was a bit of an inspiration for our arrangement of the song that we do on the Lost Thought Control album, The Big Picture, which we used to do in concert we did that every night. But yeah, there's some striking similarities there. Just in that one change, it emotes that same feeling of wistfulness.
Oh, yes.
It's a good word.
Word of the week.
Wistfulness.
If I'd known we were doing it at the same time, I would have just done it too.
I was going to say, I thought, man, here we go, Seth.
Word of the week.
Wistfulness.
Wistfulness.
Dadgummit.
I quit. Done.
Which there's another song, actually directly after Puff the Magic Dragon. I didn't know it was on when you were playing this.
Yeah.
It's a gospel song. With a name with Bible names like Peter, Paul, and Mary, they ought to be doing some gospel music.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Puff the Magic Dragon gets a bad rap because everybody thinks it's talking about like drugs.
Right.
Smoking
It
the
does.
Magic Dragon.
That's what people. But you put it next to a gospel song and you think, allegorical tale, perhaps a little Pilgrim's Progress reference, maybe, or Chronicles of Narnia. Or are you talking some?
Thing is, it could mean that to a bunch of people. The author talked about it, and he's like, "That's not what it means."
Y'all just too high.
Yeah, I guess everybody that thinks that's really been
They've
on
got
the
a problem,
man.
Oh, that's the thing about music is subjective. A lot of things, we talk about music, comedy, art. Just art in general is a very open to interpretation thing. And when you commit to doing quote unquote Christian music like we do, it takes some of the subjectiveness out because you want to get a message across. You want to present the gospel. You want people to understand that. But also there's an artistry about it that I think some lines are left open to interpretation, and I think that's what makes it beautiful.
Heck yeah, man. I'll tell you what. Well, it's
y'all next week.
been a good episode.
Well, one case in point, I think, and this song was he will deny it and deny it and deny it, but a co-write that you and I did together, which is good news. He denies that he had anything to do with it because he doesn't feel that he contributed anything. But a good portion of those, especially first verse lyrics, are just straight verbatim out of the mouth of Josh Carey.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the song "Good News" that we wrote together has some really good lines that are just. We knew what we meant when we put them in there.
Yeah.
But we've left them for the audience to decide and just kind of go, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
Want to make you think a little bit.
Yeah, make you think. And I think that's what it should do.
Yeah.
Also, look up Good News and Big Picture on Spotify or
they're on Spotify.
iTunes.
Make it a part of your Spotify rap before it's too late.
Yeah.
That's right. Or on CumberlandThunder.com/store.
That's right. Yeah.
Lost Thought Control album.
The Lost Thought Control album. That was a learning experience, but those are some of my favorite songs. A lot of the songs we're still doing on stage now. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good songs. Good stuff. As the kids say.
Soup.
We got into a conversation in the last episode, and we'll get your take on this.
Go on.
Do you sometimes, and for those that don't know, Seth is a teacher. You teach kindergartners. You teach
general music.
So maybe you're a little more, which kindergartners aren't exactly the ones that have the vernacular of the day necessarily, though they pick up a lot more than what we give them credit for.
Yeah, it gets younger and younger, man.
But we were talking about how sometimes, for me personally, maybe scrolling TikTok every now and then, I feel like I need a translator for the current generation.
Kayla teaches Sunday school, and I come in and I sit there and I help out. I guess we kind of co-teach, but she does more of the teaching. Someone said the other day, I don't remember what they were talking about. I think it was something at Taco Bell. Funny enough, he said, "Oh man, Taco Bell is gas." And I thought,
Yes, it is.
I thought, well, it gives me gas, but what? I don't know if you want to say that out loud in Sunday school,
right?
But then he said, "Oh, something is gas. That's just gas."
This is a new one on me.
I've never heard it until that moment. Never heard it on TikTok. Haven't seen it anywhere else, and we were just like, "What is that?" And like context clues, I guess.
Yeah.
It meant like it was good.
Yeah.
Some way, like apparently bussin' means you're eating good food. And I thought it just meant anything good. So I don't know the details, but I heard that's gas.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've learned something new.
So there you go. Now I haven't heard kindergartners say it.
No,
Of course, I mean, in kindergartners, and as I'm sure you all know, and probably you all know, you never know what's going to come out of their mouth, good or bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was teaching the other day. Actually, it was yesterday at the time of this recording. I was talking about something. We've been, this week, when we were recording this week, we've been talking about meter, like patterns of 2, 3, and 4. And, just going over that, and he said, "I know what's in your body." And at that point, I was like, all right, I'll bite. What's in my body? Skeleton. Sure is. Let's get back to meter, shall we?
He's right,
he's right. I mean, you're not wrong, bud. You're not wrong. I'd quit if it wasn't so glamorous.
Yeah, I have yet to understand how the King's English. I think I mentioned that, but the King's English is just getting just stabbed, which is what happens. That's how language develops over time. Right. If you listen to, I watched a video and it was a fella talking about Old English and the Middle Ages, and he was speaking what English was then. It was completely unintelligible, but I'm lost. I'll just go ahead and say I'm a lost ball in high weeds.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
I said something the other day, and a friend of mine who's 10, 15 years older than me, I used an expression, I don't remember what it was, but he looked and he goes, "How old are you?" Because apparently this is only an old person expression. And I said it, and he just goes, "How old are you?" Well,
you're an old soul.
I am.
What'd you say?
I don't remember now. It's probably something like finer than frog hair split 3 ways, or...
Oh, I use that. Well, finest frog hair.
Yeah, finest frog hair. That's a good one. Or I was stuck in there like a hair in a biscuit. That's a good one. It's a little gross, but it's good. I like that one. I like... there's some really good ones.
Oh, it was... I think it was like a year ago, maybe. Of course, the kids had no idea what I meant, but I heard this from you.
Oh.
And they were just, the line was moving, and some kid, of course, was looking around. I was like, hey, come on, you're just standing there with your teeth in your mouth, let's go.
That's a good one.
And of course they went, but they were kind of looking at me like, what?
Is Mr. Hayes okay?
No.
No.
Because you're not moving.
I'm hungry.
Standing there with your teeth in your mouth. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good one. I like it. There's got to be some more expressions. One you brought to me, and I've looked up and tried to research. I can't quite find that is Larapin. I remember you talking about Larapin.
Yeah.
And if something is Larapin, it's really good.
Yeah, like delicious.
Like gas?
Yeah, like gas.
Or bussin'.
Or buzzing?
This,
Apparently you have to say it like, buzzing.
this chicken's really Larapin. Or how would it be said in context?
Oh, have y'all had that dish that Abby made? Well, y'all got to try it. It's Larapin.
I'd be like, well, maybe you have to go to the doctor for it.
Yeah.
Well, when I first heard the expression, my first thought was, it sounds like a medicine. It sounds like,
Yes, that's what I was just
ask
thinking.
your doctor if Larapin is right for you.
Like it makes me think of like some sort of antibiotic cream or something.
Yeah. Apply Larapin twice daily. If the rash does not improve within a week, consult a physician.
Larapin is a K. Willis Shear special. So,
I love it.
yeah, gotta carry it on.
I love it. Larapin. Poor as Job's turkey. That's a good one.
Oh, wow.
Poor, what is it?
As poor as Job's turkey.
As poor as Job's turkey.
Yeah. You know, in the Bible, when Job got all these things added back to him, at the end of that story that you read, you find all these flocks and livestock and children, but you never read anything about Job's turkey.
That's true.
Never mentioned. Now, it never mentions that he lost a turkey either,
Yeah.
but you never hear tale of Job's turkey. So yeah, poor as Job's turkey.
I can feel my dad fact-checking that right now.
Pulling out the old King James and
Yep.
checking to see if...
You can see him right now. I have the glasses like this.
Well, son, the Word of God said.
Love you, Dad.
We gave him a shout out on the last one, which is not aired yet, so Seth hasn't seen it yet. But we gave your dad a shout out.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we did. We talked
Is
about
this episode 3, I guess?
Yes, this would be episode 3.
Episode
Trace.
3, Revenge of the Sith
Yeah.
podcast.
Revenge of the Seth.
Oh, yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Well, yeah, poor as Job's turkey. Poor as Job's turkey. There's some really good ones. That I feel like that one's like almost a specifically kind of Eastern Kentucky, Appalachian. That's a really specific one.
I heard a guy say once, boy, that about makes you want to tie up your grandma and push her in the river. That was one.
Or slap your mama.
Slap your mama. Yeah, it has to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, real good.
Just think of the Spice, Slap Your Mama.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Slap your
I think
mama's
I've
spice.
seen it.
That's always at our house. Kayla loves that stuff.
Hey, you go slap her sometime.
One of my favorites is one that you say about if something's so good.
Oh, well, that about make you take back the things you ain't borrowed.
Take back the things
I
you
don't know
ain't
if-
borrowed.
I remember where I heard this from. I would say, well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
That's a good one. We made up you and I made one up the other day. If you'll remember this, we were working on something. We were actually at my house. So Josh and I were at my house, and Abby was, as she always is, doing some baking, I think. And she said, or I said, "What are you doing, Abby?" Or you may have asked her, and she said, "Oh, I'm waiting on the butter to soften." And I thought, that's a good. So if somebody says, "What are you doing?" Just waiting on butter to soften. What? I'm just waiting on my butter to soften.
Have you used that on somebody?
I've
yet?
not yet.
So
but
let's break that down, though. So, like, how much time we talking?
Yeah.
Is it in the stove or is it just sitting out?
I think it was just sitting out. I think it's almost like waiting on. I think it's a little faster, just a little skosh faster than waiting on water to boil.
Okay. Yeah.
Because a watched pot never boils. It's another one.
Full circle. Here we are.
Yeah. A watched pot never boils. Yeah. Use that. Let's make that. I want you people, all of you, all 5 of you. No. I want everybody to go out and start using the expression, just waiting on butter to soften.
Hashtag waiting on butter to soften.
Yeah.
Let's get it trending right now.
When you, someone actually said this to me today. I'm usually the person that says it, but someone just said this to me when I said, "How are you?" They said, living the dream." The next time you get that urge to say, living the dream, just instead replace it with, just waiting on butter to soften.
Yeah.
I have a short story that
Give
reminded me of something.
Yes.
I may have told you all this before, but for you people at home or wherever you are. So
Driving down the road, holding the phone up in front of the steering wheel.
This was years ago. We were in Sam's Club,
Mm.
and the whole family was there. We were walking out, and when you're at Sam's Club, you have to hand them the receipt, and they have to check to make sure. I don't know why really they do that, but here we are. Check to make sure you have everything. You didn't steal anything, and of course, Dad. Y'all know Dad by now. You know, being nice. I don't know what word I was about to use there, but
Being,
I can see the contemplation.
I was like,
your dad is listening to this going,
well, a guy asked, "Hi, how are you?" Just fine. You, sir? That's exactly how he was going. And the guy went, "Well, if I was any better, I'd be you, sir. It's your world. I'm just living in it."
Oh, man.
And Dad, this never happens to Dad. He was thrown off. And Dad was like, "Have a good day, sir." And to this day, we still tease him about it. And every time we're at Sam's Club, we'd say, "Hey, Dad, it's your world. We're just living in it."
That's good. I like that.
And I used that on one person one time, and they were just like, "Huh?"
What?
I have heard that. Actually, my father-in-law said that before.
Really?
And I tried using it on someone, and they thought I was being sarcastic or a smart aleck, and they said, "What did you say to me?" I was like, hold on.
Hold on. Just an expression, sir.
But one that he uses, which is fantastic, and I use this almost on a daily basis. Somebody says, "Oh, sorry, excuse me. I'm just a nickel holding up a dollar."
Yeah. Or a dollar waiting on a dime.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just a nickel holding up a dollar. There's some great ones.
I hope we're still recording.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
When someone says, "It was great to see you," I'll say, "Oh, the pleasure was all yours."
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I've heard that one.
Come back again when you can't stay as long. I'll see your.
What does that come back again when you can't stay as long?
Yeah. Come back sometime when you can't stay as long.
Oh, I have to use that.
Yeah.
Because my father-in-law always says, "Come back when you can stay longer." So
See?
I have to
You gotta-
use
you gotta
that.
switch. And it's one of those things. It goes by so fast that you
Yeah.
you just kind of okay. Yeah. Just like, the pleasure was all yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one that just goes by just enough that on the ride home they start thinking about that. Or
If you need anything, just go get it.
if you need anything, go get it.
My dad will always say, "If you need anything, ask your mother."
There's another.
We mention my dad a lot.
You know what? We'll have to have him on sometime.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
These got some stories.
There's another good one that's related to the "come back when you can't stay as long" or "the pleasure was all yours." I can't remember, but it's another one of those. Oh yeah, I'll see you around. Not if I see you first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you dive into what that actually means, it's like, oh, if I see you, I'm going to run and hide.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Gotta love it.
Anybody have any final words of wisdom for it? We're about an hour and 11 minutes.
Oh
Well,
well.
look at us.
We're doing good.
Very good.
Thereabouts. We will remind everyone once again, you are watching this video on YouTube, and that means that just below this video there's a handy little subscribe button. To all of you that have already hit that, thank you so much. We appreciate that. It means the world to us. But if you haven't, and it's down there just teasing you a little bit, then go ahead and hit. Just it takes a click. If you're on your phone, you scroll down there and just hit.
Do it. You won't.
If you're on the computer, you take your little mouse, and you go and you do it. It's just click, and there it is. And if you want to be notified when a new video comes out, there's a little bell icon there. You click the bell. That'll send you a notification straight to your inbox, let you know whenever there's a new video. As you already said, you can check out our music on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. You can visit our website, cumberlandthunder.com.
Links in the description.
That's right. There will be. Our
And
Facebook
as you
page,
always
Instagram
say.
page.
As you always say.
Like and subscribe.
And,
All right.
And
Press that bell.
oh yeah, I heard this one time and I always use it. If we ever meet again in screen or in person, good night, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.
I can't end it any better than that.